Well, in true Monday fashion, Rhett woke up like 3 times last night, and Emerson had an 8 o'clock appointment. So I think the second time Rhett woke up, it was like 12:30 maybe. Took some time, put him back to sleep. And then Emerson woke up at 4:15 and wouldn't go back to sleep. She was still awake when I woke up at 6 o'clock. I thought that I would be able to get her ready and then I could feed Rhett right before leaving. That did not happen. So I was up at 6, Rhett woke up at 6:15. By the time I was done feeding him around like 6:35, Emerson had just fallen asleep after like 2.5 hours of being awake. So then I had to wake her up 5 or 10 minutes after she had just fallen asleep. Got her ready, watched the sunrise on our way to her appointment, which I was basically in my pajamas for, by the way. So yeah, that's been our Monday. Rhett has been screaming a lot in the middle of the night, not for naps, just in the middle of the night, ever since he started cutting teeth. The first tooth he cut, like, it was not a big deal at all. We didn't even realize he was cutting a tooth. But the second one has been a totally different story, different child. He's been a real treat. I've taken a little break from pretty much everything else because I'm just trying to remain sane. I also have to say that it was pretty humorous to me that on our way back from Emerson's appointment, that song Survivin' by Bastille was playing on the radio. What a perfect anthem for Mondays. I was feeding Rhett and I came over here to change his diaper. Look over. How the heck does she do that? Did she like, Emerson, she's like over here sucking on her hand through her sleeve. I have no idea. How the heck did you do that? Like her entire sleeve, the entire long sleeve is soaked. Like we have to change your shirt now. Did you teach her how to do that? Did you teach her to eat clothes? Hi. I'm about to change my 4th poopy diaper of the day and it smells so bad. And I'm like, what the heck do you smell like, child? Sourdough starter. His butt smells like my sourdough starter. Ugh. Yeah, come here. Can we see? Can we see? Oh yeah, they're coming in, huh? It is 7:30. Colin's not home yet. Hi, buddy. So we're just chilling in our mess right now. We are starting off our morning with Coco to hopefully distract Emerson from the fact that she can't eat breakfast this morning because she has some fasting labs that she has to do. Emerson has to do labs every 2 months right now. It used to be every month, but I think after 6 months we went to every 2 months for labs because Emerson's on a compassionate use drug. Basically, that means that this drug hasn't been FDA approved for her condition specifically, so we're able to get it through a compassionate use program, which basically means the company provides it to us for free since they can't like market it or anything like that. They kind of treat it like a study for that reason. So she gets labs every 2 months. They took pictures when she started it and they took measurements of her overgrowth just to see how it would affect those things, because this medication is specifically targeting her gene mutation, and so it's supposed to help slow down overgrowth. Emerson's overgrowth isn't what I would classify as severe, but the reason we started it is to hopefully slow down brain growth and hopefully give us seizure control. We found out that there was a patient on this drug that had Emerson's exact same gene variant. So not just the same mutation, but the same exact variant within the gene. And I guess he was able to get off all of his seizure medications after like 6 months on this because he had seizure control. So Emerson's been on it a little bit over a year, haven't had any seizures. There is no talk of weaning any of her seizure medications, in case you're wondering. So while they're waiting approval, we're able to get it through this program. There was a long approval process. There's this whole proposal that her doctor had to fill out. Thankfully, she was in contact with another doctor who has done this a lot, so she was just able to get her protocol and just basically plug Emerson's information in. We also had to have Emerson's genetic testing done, which thankfully we did, so that shortened the process. But we had to wait several months for not only the company to approve it, but also for the hospital to approve it. So yeah, there was a process. It took a few months for us to get approval. Our process was actually really short compared to other people. Some other people have had to wait like over a year to get approval. I think we waited like 3 months max. So it was really fast. Her doctor is awesome and she's like totally on the ball with everything, thankfully. This is a new sound. When we first moved here, we got plugged into the vascular clinic, thankfully. And when we saw this doctor, I was like, this is the first time that a doctor knows more than me about Emerson's condition, and I felt like so much relief when we first met with her. She could actually answer questions that I had, which was a change because usually it's the other way around. So we really, really like this doctor. She's probably one of the most caring and responsive doctors. I will message her and she will get back to me within a few hours, even if it's the weekend. She's very, very involved with her patients. So far, we haven't really had any side effects. If anything, we're hoping that this drug, in conjunction with that new seizure med she started last January, is what is giving her seizure freedom right now. So we're not gonna change anything anytime soon. Hey, I need to eat. Guess what we get to do again? Yay, another stool sample. Emerson is still dealing with her digestive issues. And apparently they didn't send her stool sample to pathology. They only tested for like parasites, so they did a stool culture. And her doctor was like, well, they didn't test for viruses, so we can still run that test. So I'll put an order in, and that means we get to collect more poo. On an unrelated note, we did find out that Emerson's new chair will be delivered on April 9th, I think. So just in time for her to be in a cast and not be able to use it. But that just means that no more this thing, this famous yellow chair. It's pretty much been in every picture and video for the last like 3 years. We have definitely relied very heavily on that chair, but we're excited to have a new one because it's just not really working out great for Emerson anymore. We have used that chair for a long time, and that's what we travel with, that's what we feed her in. We were given it by another family, so we will probably just pass it on to another family who can use it because that thing has been awesome for Emerson. So now we just need to figure out what Emerson's gonna use while she's in her cast. We've done this before, but she's a little bit bigger this time, so some of the things we used last time are not going to work this time. We're not going to be able to use her stroller. We won't be able to use her adaptive stroller. We're not going to be able to use any of the chairs that we have, so we'll probably have to get a bean bag. We did get this bean bag from Walmart, but it kind of has, it's more like a chair instead of a bean bag, and so since it doesn't have the support right there, I just don't think it's really going to work with her cast. So that means we need to figure out seating for Emerson while she's in her cast. I'm looking at a few different things. I'm hopefully going to be able to order a wagon that has a 5-point harness and the seat reclines. It's the Wonderfold, if anybody's ever used that. So hopefully that'll work for her. They are just out of stock right now. So hopefully we can order that and get that in time for her surgery. Otherwise, I don't know. The hospital is probably not going to have any car seats that she's going to be able to use since she's so big. So Emerson had a PT eval on Monday, and the therapist was really helpful in just talking about what to expect with the spica. She said that she doesn't think Emerson's going to be able to fit in a car seat either. So the hospital may give her this like strappy contraption where she'll lay down in the seat. Let me see if I can pull up a picture. So she would be laying down in the seat of our van with like 3 or 4 straps on her. So if that's what we're working with, then we're not going to be going like anywhere when she's in her cast. So we're just trying to prep, because after talking to Emerson's PT, I realized we have like a little over a month before her surgery. So we need to get our stuff together. Other things we need to figure out before Emerson's surgery, we need to get this poop situation under control. And Emerson also hasn't been sleeping very well. Not that it's gonna matter once she's in a cast, because she's gonna sleep terribly when she's in there because she's gonna be in a lot of pain. But she's been waking up for like a few hours in the middle of the night, and sometimes it takes 2 hours for her to fall back to sleep. Sometimes she doesn't fall back to sleep. We did give her ibuprofen for the last 2 nights at the suggestion of another parent, just to see if we could rule out if it was pain related or not. And the last 2 nights she has slept really well. So that could mean that she's in pain or discomfort. Maybe it's her hip, I don't know, but it did help. So hopefully after her surgery and after recovery, then she'll be able to sleep normally again. I'm just hoping that since the ibuprofen seemed to help, that it's not seizure related. Could be subclinical seizures, who knows. I feel like it is so difficult to pinpoint what could be bothering her and causing her not to sleep because there's just so much going on. So hopefully that will work itself out after surgery. If not, then we know we're dealing with something else that's affecting her sleep. So it's been kind of a rough few weeks with Rhett not really sleeping because he's teething, and Emerson not sleeping for who knows why, plus all of the poo. It's almost 3:30 and this is the first chance I've had all day to just make some food. So I'm just gonna stuff my face, but it's okay when your plate looks like this, right? Yeah? But I realized that we are heading into a rough couple months with all these casts and stuff, so I'm gonna try to practice now, focusing on more of the positive things. So here are a lot of good things from the past 2 weeks, even though we've been really tired. Do you like going to sister's room? Emerson got her new glasses. Same style, same color, just a little bit bigger. What are you doing? I made Emerson this cute little skirt on Sunday, and for not using a pattern, it turned out pretty well. Baby Emerson. The weather has been super nice lately, so we've been able to get out for walks in the middle of the day. And our grass is growing back. It's super breezy back here, so we don't get any mosquitoes, which is like awesome for Houston. Is that sister? What are you doing to brother? What are you doing to brother? Emerson. Oh, he'll just eat your shirt. I've been really wanting to do a mural in Emerson's room, so right now this is kind of my idea. I wanted it to be Moana, but not too specific, so this is so far what I've got. Rhett, are you feeding yourself like a big boy? Huh? Are you feeding yourself? Or just playing with your food, huh? Emerson is starting to get more freckles on her cheeks, which you can barely see. But they're there, I promise, and I love it. Oh my goodness, Emerson. High five. Hi. So yummy. Rhett wanted to watch Moana too, so he wheeled his way right over there. Hi, buddy. Can you see? You guys wanna go for a walk? Emerson. Emerson, who's cute? No, not over there. Are you? Are you cute? hungry, I know. Emerson. Like what is this?
I was in there earlier.
Emerson, do you want to go for a ride?